Hey there, everyone. Meteorologist Ashley Baylor here in the News 8 Now Stream Center on this scorching start to the work week here. I mean, it has been a while since we've had temperatures this high, and especially for the end of June. This is something I would expect more in July or possibly even August. And tomorrow, just that little bit worse than it is today. So, why waste our time here? Let's get right into it. You can see an extreme heat warning remains in effect for most of the state. Now, that does not include the Litchfield Hills. It does not include the shoreline areas of New London County. However, I have seen Torrington have some pretty high heat indices today, so I would argue you could probably extend that extreme heat warning up through all of Litchfield County, but I don't make that decision. I mean, look at these temperatures alone. We're at 97 degrees in Hartford, 92 in Bridgeport. So for Bridgeport, that is a new record high. I believe the old record was 91. The record up in Windsor Locks is 97, so we're pretty close. But temperatures on a day like this, I wouldn't say irrelevant, but not as important as the heat index. But look at these dew point numbers before we even get to that. Right now, we have dew points that are well into the 70s. We have a couple spots like Torrington and Waterbury where the dew point has actually moved into the lower 80s. So when you take those temperatures, factor in this humidity, this is what it actually feels like outside. This is the heat index. So it feels more like 112 in Waterbury, 108 in Meriden, 108 in Windsor Locks, and even here in New Haven, it feels like 103. So sweltering, scorching, uncomfortable, searing, whatever adjective you want to use to describe, it works on a day like this. And as you can see, if you want to cool off, well, why not head to Florida? Because it doesn't feel nearly as bad there. I mean, the heat index in Orlando is only 94, 98 in Jacksonville, but the farther north you go, it feels hotter. It feels like 105 in Washington, D.C., even 100 in Chicago and also Nashville. So here are some things I want you to be aware of. I want you to be aware of the signs of heat exhaustion versus potential heat stroke. So heat exhaustion rather. When you start to feel faint or dizzy, you start to sweat excessively, you have a rapid or potentially weak pulse, and you start to get muscle cramps, that's a sign of heat exhaustion. That means you need to get into a cool, air-conditioned place quickly, drink water, and possibly take a cool shower or use a cold compress. Now, if you really start to get a throbbing headache and you stop sweating and you have a rapid, strong pulse, that's a sign of heat stroke and you need to call 911 immediately. Hopefully none of this happens. Please take care of yourselves. And here's just a quick rundown of some safety tips for you. Obviously, stay well hydrated, drink water, drink Gatorade, drink Powerade, something with electrolytes in it. No alcohol on a day like this. Soda's probably not the best option, but that's a very do as I say, not as I do situation with me because I had my soda this morning. Now, take frequent breaks in the shade or air conditioner. For anybody that has to work outside on a day like this, make sure you take those breaks. Sit in a work truck if you have to get that AC. Wear loose, light-colored clothes that reflect the sunshine. On a day like this, you don't want to be wearing dark clothes because it absorbs the heat and makes you feel hotter. You want to reduce any outdoor activity, at least strenuous activity, between 10 to 4 because that's peak heating time. And of course, you don't want to walk the dogs during that time either. If you're worried about taking them outside, put your hand on the pavement. If it is too hot for your hand, it is too hot for their paws. And I would love to go through a summer where we don't have to hear about a dog in a hot lock car or a child in a hot lock car. Check your back seats. Here's a look at our satellite and radar composite right now, where we are seeing a few scattered clouds. And on a day like this, yeah, it's nice when that cloud moves over that hot sunshine and at least gives you some temporary shade. I don't know if we're even getting much relief from those clouds today. There's 97 degrees in Hartford with that hazy sunshine. Here's a look in Long Wharf where we are also at 90 degrees. There's a little more of an onshore breeze now. So closer to the shoreline, that breeze is helping out a little bit, especially with the fact that water temperatures are still, for the most part, in the 60s. So here's a look at our hour by hour, which is going to show you pretty quiet conditions as we head through this evening and overnight. But keep those fans and air conditioners going tonight because temperatures are only expected to bottom out in the low to mid 70s. We'll do it all over again tomorrow, except, as I said, tomorrow just a couple degrees warmer. So once we get through Tuesday, things are going to get a little bit better on Wednesday, but then a bigger difference on the way for the second half of the week. So clear skies, it stays mild and muggy tonight as temperatures fall back into the 70s. Tomorrow, we're talking a high of 97 at the shoreline, 102 inland. And again, that's without factoring in the humidity. When you factor in the humidity, it will feel anywhere from, say, 100 degrees closer to the shoreline to 110, possibly as high as 115 inland. So a very uncomfortable, almost unbearable day. I know there were actually some people out playing golf today. There was a big golf tournament for the Greater New Haven St. Patrick's Day Parade. And, you guys know I'm a big golfer. I can't even fathom playing golf in these conditions. And especially tomorrow, I know there's a big golf tournament going on tomorrow. I can't remember where it is. I want to say Tunxis, but hopefully everybody out there really stays hydrated and watches for those signs of potential heat exhaustion. Now, by the time we get to Wednesday, I certainly wouldn't call it comfortable, but it's a step in the right direction. We'll be in the low 90s along the shoreline that day, mid 90s inland, and there will be a chance for a couple of isolated thunder showers as a cold front comes through. Behind that frontal boundary, yes, we get those temperatures that drop back into the mid 70s for Thursday and Friday. So right now, I'd say Friday really looks like a beautiful day, not only because it will be more comfortable, but because it will be dry as well. We do have a chance of thunder showers on Saturday, but why is that a surprise? Why not go for weekend number 18 with some showers? Of course, we had some showers yesterday morning, so we definitely hit weekend number 17. That verified. Now, Sunday, I'm optimistically going dry for that day, but then we do have a chance for maybe some thunder showers next Monday and Tuesday. But, I'll gladly take the shower chances over the sweltering heat. Sometimes it feels like we cannot quite catch a break. If we can't just, get a few days of beautiful weather where it's bright and comfortable, it seems like we can't quite hit that. You might get one here and there. But if we could get at least 3 or 4 or 5 days with that, I think everybody would be quite happy. But in the meantime, again, please take care of yourselves. Check on your elderly neighbors as well. Make sure their fans and air conditioners are working. And you guys know I'm a huge animal advocate, huge animal lover. I want to make sure our animals are taken care of as well. That pavement gets really hot. I remember a couple years ago in July, I took a laser thermometer to my driveway, and it was 143 on that driveway in the direct sunlight. So just something to consider, that if you do have to take them out for 5 minutes or so, make sure it's short, make sure that it's on the grass, and that they get water as soon as they go indoors. Please don't leave them outside. All right, off my soapbox and back into the studio for me. See you guys here tomorrow.